Crucial 13, you are appreciated. Shout out to you.
Get crucial.
I'm hungry. I need some bacon.
Look at this. Look at this. This is the city I'm in right now. All right, do not turn this off. Get ready to learn a thing or two. Okay? Hit that like button. Leave a comment after the video and all that. Hit subscribe if you ain't subscribed. This is about to get crazy. Okay, so before we get into it, we all know that, within the past few months, Leonardo DiCaprio testified against rapper from the Fugees, Prize, for, dealing with some guy money laundering into the Democratic Party, interfering with the 2012 election for Barack Obama and all this type of stuff. Well, we also know that, Leonardo DiCaprio starred in a movie called Titanic. And now there's a big story about, some people who went in a submarine and got lost on some voyage to go, see the Titanic while its remains underwater and all that type of stuff. And the two may not have nothing to do with each other. I'm just showing you, the universe is funny about things. Same, God has a sense of humor. I don't know. Let's check this out. So thanks to Curious Rabbit at Apocalypse Barbie for all these tweets right here. Yes, I made that beat playing in the background. You will be hearing that on Josh Shaw's upcoming audio book. Be sure to check it out. I will be promoting it on my channel. But here we go. Titanic sub passengers include Shahzada Dawood, I don't know how to say that name, excuse me, Vice Chairman of Engro Corporation, Director of Dawood Hercules Corporation, a board member of the Princess Trust, a board member of the SETI Institute, and a trustee of the Dawood Foundation, member of WEF, World Economic Forum, okay? Then here, Suleiman Dawood, 19-year-old son of Shahzada Dawood. Then you got Stockton Rush, CEO and founder of Oceangate Incorporated. Rush oversees Oceangate's financial and engineering strategies and provides a clear vision for development of 4,000 meter and 6,000 meter capable crewed submersibles. Then you got Paul Henry Narguillet, 77-year-old French explorer, director of the underwater research program at RMS Titanic Incorporated. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing some of these names. I really don't mean that. Then Hamish Hardin. In 2017, Hardin worked with Antarctic VIP tourism company White Desert to introduce the first regular business jet service to the Antarctic. Hardin also visited the South Pole several times, accompanying Buzz Aldrin in 2016. And now right here it says David de Rothschild, like that name, huh? Entrepreneur and environmentalist, joins Oceangate Incorporated Board of Directors. Let's read that. Okay, it says Seattle, October 8th, 2012, around the time that they were interfering in the 2012 election. Oh shit, Leo snitched. All right. PR Newswire, Oceangate Incorporated, a global provider of deep-sea manned submersible solutions, recently appointed adventurer, environmentalist, and entrepreneur David de Rothschild to serve on the company's board of directors. Effective immediately, David joins Oceangate founders Stockton Rush and Guillermo Sonline. I know that name because I watch boxing. Damn it. Yeah, I got it right. Along with Lee Thompson and Jeff Barker, who were appointed to the Oceangate board in August. We're at a time when businesses need to think beyond the boundaries of traditional thinking and explore ways to not only grow financially, but also manage and integrate a clear and responsible social and environmental vision. Social engineering is what he's talking about here. States David, in my opinion, Oceangate optimizes this ethos throughout. That's why I am proud and excited to join their board on their epic adventure to become a world leader in ocean exploration and research. David's appointment to the Oceangate board highlights the company's shared values and commitment to business successes in emerging markets. His international experience with ocean stewardship ventures will assist in guiding the company as Oceangate positions itself to a wide range of clients. About David de Rothschild. David Rothschild is an adventurer, ecologist, environmentalist, and founder of MYOO, an organization whose goal is to inspire dreams, fuel conversations, share innovations, and activate change in order to give nature a voice. In 2010, David and the MYOO team built a one-of-a-kind, fully recyclable 60-foot catamaran made buoyant by 12,500 reclaimed plastic bottles. The Plastic Key, as the project is known, sailed 8,000 miles across the Pacific to alert the world to the devastating effects of single-use plastics. So he's one of the global warming liberal type dudes. All right. David's commitment to environmental action has led UNEP, National Geographic, Clean Up the World, World Economic Forum, and the Clinton Global Initiative to award him recognition as a climate hero, emerging explorer, a global cleanup ambassador, a young global leader, and a member of the Clinton Global Initiative lead. Speaking of Clinton, what it says right there, we have information that will lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton. All right, don't pay attention to that. In addition to awards and recognition stemming from his numerous adventures and expeditions, David has authored several books, had a hit TV series on the Sundance Channel, and a National Geographic documentary under his belt. He holds an advanced diploma in natural medicine from the College of Naturopathic Medicine, London, and a Bachelor's of Science in Political Science and Information Systems from Oxford Brookes. Now it says here, Mohammed Hussein Dawood, Chairman, Dawood Hercules Corp., also a member of WEF. Now it says, Engro Foundation, Dawood, partnered with Aga Khan University during the pandemic, supported by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Says right there, Aga Khan, Shaka Khan's brother, University is already providing free teleconsultations to healthcare workers treating critically ill COVID patients with the support of the Ministry of Health and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. That's pretty humane. Then it goes, well, this just gets deeper, Curious Rabbit says. Scott Parazinski, board member of Oceangate, was also part of the UN's Global Health Impact Forum in 2014. Who else was part of that? None other than Ghislaine Maxwell, Mrs. Epstein. Remember the Termar Project? Ooh. Says here, Miss Ghislaine Maxwell, founder and CEO of the Termar Project. Miss Ghislaine Maxwell, founder and CEO of the Termar Project, TM, a web-based nonprofit organized to protect the oceans by empowering a global community of ocean citizens. In addition to promoting awareness, responsibility, and transparency on the high seas, TM is collaborating with the countries and other stakeholders to secure healthy oceans through the 2015 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. TM Terramar has created a pledge for supporters to show the United Nations their commitment to sustainable oceans management. Miss Maxwell holds a BA MA from Oxford University. She is a private helicopter pilot and an emergency medical technician and a qualified ROV and deep worker submarine pilot. Wow. Remember that whole Epstein thing about the submarines and all that? I don't know. That's just a random thought here. Curious Rabbit, aka Apocalypse Barbie, my new friend, says something is definitely amiss or this is a distraction. I can't quite pinpoint it yet, but I'm sure we will figure it out in time. Oh yeah. So what's next is a whistleblower raised safety concerns about Oceangate submersible in 2018. Then he was fired. Let's take a look. Says here, a whistleblower raised safety concerns. All right, I just said that. Original carbon fiber hull wasn't rated for Titanic depths, claimed operations director. Okay? Yes, I'm about to read again, and I'm horrible at it, but bear with me. Says here, the director of marine operations at Oceangate, the company whose submersible went missing Sunday on an expedition to the Titanic in the North Atlantic, was fired after raising concerns about its first-of-a-kind carbon fiber hull and other systems before its maiden voyage. Yes, they were controlling it with a damn PS5 controller, I think. According to a filing in the 2018 lawsuit, first reported by Insider and New Republic, David Lockridge was terminated in January 2018 after presenting a scathing quality control report on the vessel to Oceangate senior management, including founder and CEO Stockton Rush, who is on board the missing vessel, okay? According to a court filing by Lockridge, the preamble to his report read, "Now is the time to properly address items that may pose a safety risk to personnel. Verbal communication of the key items I have addressed in my attached document have been dismissed on several occasions, so I feel now that I must make this report so there is an official record in place." Just trying to help. The report detailed numerous issues that pose serious safety concerns, according to the filing. These included Lockridge's worry that visible flaws in the carbon fiber supplied to Oceangate raised the risk of small flaws expanding into larger tears during pressure cycling. Okay, these are the huge pressure changes that the submersible would experience as it made its way in from the deep ocean floor. He noted that a previously tested scale model of the hull had prevalent flaws. Carbon fiber composites can be stronger and lighter than steel, making a submersible naturally buoyant, but they can also be prone to sudden failure under stress. The hull that Lockridge was writing about was made by Spencer Composites, the only company to have previously made a carbon fiber hull for a manned submersible. That submersible was commissioned by explorer Steve Fawcett for a record-breaking dive, but he died in a light aircraft crash before it could be used. Lockridge's recommendation was that non-destructive testing of the Titan's hull was necessary to ensure a solid and safe product. The filing states that Lockridge was told that such testing was impossible and that Oceangate would instead rely on its much-touted acoustic monitoring system. The company claims this technology, developed in-house, uses acoustic sensors to listen for the telltale sounds of carbon fibers in the hull deteriorating to provide early warning detection for the pilot with enough time to arrest the descent and safely return to surface. Sounds like somebody wants this to fail. I don't know. Death trap anyone. Lockridge, however, worried in the lawsuit that the system would not reveal flaws until the vessel was descending and then might only provide milliseconds of warning before a catastrophic implosion. Oceangate plans an expedition to 3D scan the Titanic, which is what we're talking about here now, years later. Russell McDuff, a veteran oceanographer and chairman of Oceangate's Scientific and Research Foundation for 3 years, noted that contact with the Titan was lost on Sunday after only an hour and 45 minutes. This suggests to me that they might have still been in the water column descending to the Titanic, told TechCrunch in a phone interview. Lockridge also strongly encouraged Oceangate to have a classification agency such as the American Bureau of Shipping inspect and certify the Titan. A day after filing his report, Lockridge was summoned to a meeting with Rush and company's human resources, engineering, and operation directors. There, the filing states he was also informed that the manufacturer of the Titan's forward viewport would only certify it to a depth of 1,300 meters. Oh, shit. Due to Oceangate's experimental design. The filing states that Oceangate refused to pay for the manufacturer to build a viewport that would meet the Titan's intended depth of 4,000 meters. The Titanic lies about 3,800 meters below the surface, and they only would certify it to a depth of 1,300 and refused to pay all this. You see what's going on here? Nobody is this incompetent. Like I be telling people, whenever you see this type of incompetence, quote unquote, it usually implies that, there's some conspiracy going on here, or, nobody is this incompetent. This is intentional, in my opinion. This is all entertainment, though. So nothing I'm saying in this video is fact, but nobody's this incompetent. You tell them, hey, this thing, the thing is about 4,000 meters deep. Okay, we'll certify it for 1,300 meters, even though we're going all the way down there. How does that make sense? That's like criminal gross negligence right there, literally. It also says the filing also claims that hazardous flammable materials were being used within the submersible at the end of the meeting. After saying that he would not authorize any manned test of Titan without a scan of the hull, Lockridge was fired and escorted from the building. Got him out of there. Hey, dude, we're trying to kill somebody here. We don't need you with your little fucking tests and shit. Save the day ass. Get the fuck out of here. All right, that's what they did to him. Lockridge, who claimed he was discharged in retaliation for being a whistleblower, made his filing after Oceangate sued him in federal court in Seattle that June. Oceangate has accused him of sharing confidential information with two individuals, as well as with the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA. In the lawsuit, Oceangate characterized Lockridge's report as false and accused him of committing fraud by manufacturing a reason to be fired, even though now we see that this thing was not built to sustain where the hell it was going underwater. They got lost before 2 hours, okay? All right? Shame on you, Lockridge. You were right, but damn you, okay? Now, the lawsuit was settled in November 2018. Neither Oceangate nor Lockridge responded to requests for comment. OSHA, OSHA, sounds like Ocean, which is a deity, all right, could not immediately provide details of the alleged report. A routine OSHA inspection of Oceangate in 2021 found only 3 minor workplace safety violations, resulting in no financial penalties. A few months after Lockridge's dismissal, the company published a blog post that laid out its reasons for not having Titan certified by the American Bureau of Shipping or a similar organization. The vast majority of marine and aviation accidents are a result of operator error, not mechanical failure, it reads. As a result, simply focusing on classing the vessel does not address the operational risk. Maintaining high-level operational safety requires constant, committed effort and a focused corporate culture, two things that Oceangate take very seriously and that are not assessed during classification. In 2019, Rush gave an interview to the Smithsonian Magazine in which he said, "There hasn't been an injury in the commercial sub industry in over 35 years. It's obscenely safe because they have all these regulations." Regulations, man. Nah. But it also hasn't innovated or grown because they have all these regulations. Okay, we're rolling with it. Following Lockridge's departure, the Titan was tested safely on increasingly deep dives, including a 4,000 meters in the Bahamas. However, it seems one of Lockridge's concerns would soon be borne out. In January 2020, Rush gave an interview to GeekWire in which he admitted that the Titan's hull showed signs of cyclic fatigue. Because of this, the hull's depth rating had been reduced to 3,000 meters. Not enough to get to the Titanic. Great. During 2020 and 2021, the Titan's hull was either repaired or rebuilt by two Washington state companies, Electro Impact and Janicki Industries, that largely work in aerospace. In late 2021, the Titan made its first trip down to the wreck of the Titanic. Spencer Composites says that the Titan was not using its carbon fiber hull on Sunday's dive. Presumably apart from the hull work, one source familiar with the company told TechCrunch that not much with Titan had changed at all since 2018. At the time of publication, the Titan remains missing, with Rush, French diver Paul-Henri Nargeolet, British billionaire Hamish Harding, Pakistani businessman Shahzada Dawood and his son reportedly on board. A massive search and rescue operation is underway. They're doing everything that they logically can, McDuff said, but I'm a little pessimistic because of the amount of time that's gone by. AKA, listen, we sent them down there and we intended for them not to come back, okay? Now, there are a couple different conspiracies. Some people are thinking that they're faking their deaths because, people are getting in trouble for this whole Epstein thing and all that, ever since Trump got in there and all this started going to shit. Now everybody's like making their way out. That's why you've seen a lot of popular CEOs of big companies and corporations stepped down in the recent years. They got up out of there. And this guy here says something very interesting. This seems like it is just cleaning up loose ends. Would not be hard to believe they were involved in the investigation, and they were. It seems there are ongoing investigations into the Jepperstein traffic organization. Otherwise, related people would not still be quote unquote dying. So many people involved with traffic business have been quote unquote deceased since Orange Man, aka Donald Trump, the GOAT, came in. And 2 prominent Roths bank CEOs have also passed. Says right here, BA and MA from Oxford University, emergency medical technician, qualified ROV, deep worker, submarine. They're talking about Ghislaine Maxwell, right? What we read. And helicopter pilot. But she was pimping for Jeffrey Epstein, now in jail for life. It looks like someone is taking out WEF members, World Economic Forum members, or they are cleaning up. Then says, definitely something fishy. All are members or connected to members of WEF. Methinks some deep staters are making a new start with new identities. Okay, some people are going with that. Some people are going with they're being intentionally taken out because they might have information. Some people are also going with the fact that some people are power hungry and want, whatever. But I'm leaning toward this whole cover up thing. This is all entertainment. Nothing in this video is fact. It's all conspiracy theories, okay? Not real. This would make the most sense, but today in general, there's been a lot of dot connections for me, and nothing is ever a coincidence, honestly. And Mr. Epstein blew the thundercaps all the way off. It has to all be connected like a balance of some sort. Now, it could be a cover-up, either like, okay, the people at the top who don't want to go down to this are taking out people, like how the mob used to do. They used to just take out people that they thought would rat, you prick, would rat on them and stuff. Or there's a cover-up, basically, that the reason why they, because all this stuff was breaking in like 17, 16 when Trump got in there. And in 2018 is when they, refused to do these tests on this submarine, almost like they were just planting that idea that, okay, we're not going to do the testing on this, so that if something does happen, people are going to point to this and say, hey, they didn't do the right test on these machines, so that is a clear reason why the submarine didn't make it. Now they got the alibi on why they might have disappeared, when in fact that they might actually just be escaping and going to some island or something to avoid prosecution for these trafficking. This is what people are saying right here. It could be either or. I don't know. This is all entertainment. Nothing in this video is fact. It is all conspiracy. But he says here, great job. It could be a way for them to disappear and not face justice. I'd be interested in knowing if any of them are on the Lolita Express flight log or in Jeffrey Epstein's black book. Then some guy replies, why don't they make a deal with Ghislaine to pilot a sub down to rescue them? She's qualified to do that, Then it says, tried to disappear, but I think white hats got him. So there's some people who look at it both ways. They're like, okay, they tried to disappear, but the people who are already hip to these type of motives and this type of stuff were anticipating a cover-up, a fake, escape route or something like that. Man, this gets crazy. I ain't gonna lie. This is like a movie here. All right, it's like a movie. Then right here, this is a doozy. Interesting, they say. Your billionaire dad goes missing in the ocean, but you say, fuck it, I'm going to a Blink 182 concert. And, one of the billionaires that was on board, his son, goes to a Blink 182 concert amid all of this. His dad's like either escaping to a new island or he's really dying down there, getting crushed by all the pressure of the ocean. Who knows what it is? And he's just at a Blink 182 concert. Either he knows nothing is wrong and that there are actually, some shit going on and his dad's gonna be fine, so he's like, I'm at this concert, or he doesn't give a shit. He's like, all right, at least I'll get some of that money. I don't know what's going on. Something else that happened, somebody says here, even I was shocked to discover that the UK's net zero target had no debate in Parliament. The biggest change in our lives for a generation. No vote, no discussion, just signed into law by a minister. This ain't right. UK becomes first major economy to pass net zero emissions law. I don't know, it's some Democrat global warming shit. Is the net zero policy illegal in the UK? Historic High Court ruling finds UK government's climate strategy unlawful in a landmark victory for climate justice that comes as the UK faces its hottest day on record. The High Court has ruled that the government's net zero strategy breaches the Climate Change Act. I don't know much about that, but all this weather shit, I don't know. Person points out here the sub will get stuck in X 666 meters. I guess a lot of gematria is showing 666 if you look into this. And it says, watch the news. Rothschild Estate sells Black Forest. They sold it. Stock market dive, 666 coincidence. Soros transfer of wealth. Some guy also suggests distraction from Durham and also reversing the curse, which Durham is they're looking into the FBI for having that fake investigation on Donald Trump. So they're trying to distract you from that. Then you got the Titanic star Leonardo DiCaprio snitching on Barack Obama and everybody who was involved in that money laundering bullshit going, even the Q people was pointing this out like a couple years ago that they were doing some type of escape route or something like that. So, I can't post the thing on here. I don't know I don't know if they like that type of shit on this platform, but yeah, they're pointing out a lot of stuff about, Ghislaine Maxwell's, certifications and a lot of shit. But here goes somebody right here. It says, didn't Ghislaine Maxwell have something to do with Woods' whole Oceanographic Institute? Also, Bill and Melinda Gates were killed and replaced with imposters in September 2013. I don't condone any of that. This is all entertainment. None of this is fact. This is just what the tweet says right here. That's something that cannot be ignored if you are investigating their business, he continues on to say in this tweet that I do not stand by. Then right here it says, remember the story of the Titanic and all of the rich industrialists that were grouped together in one area, and all of a sudden they were sabotaged and their fortunes and secrets and positions all disappeared or went to other people. Too many are sacrificed for the summer solstice. Now that is where a lot of people think like the Rothschilds are going to be taking, a lot more power than they already had from, a lot of these people that was put on this thing. Now that could be two different things. That could be them just, all right, let's take these people out. Let's gain control of their patents, their funds, their everything that they own. And let's just, snake them out like that because they probably could harm us by giving up a lot of information or something. Or these people are willingly leaving like some other people are saying and being like, hey, we're escaping out of here because the heat is on right now. Y'all take control of this type of shit. I don't know. It could be either way. This is all a movie. This is all entertainment. Nothing in this video is fact, okay?
Today I'm filled with joy, searching for treasure with my long-lost son. Homer, look!
Now, as you see right here, the Simpsons even have, yet again, predicted some shit years ago. Or have they just like, do they just show you what these higher people in positions do? Because they never just come out and say, all right, we're going to kill people who oppose us. What they do is they go about it in a slick way. Okay. And sometimes they just put it out there in their little movies and their shows and all this other type of shit. It's like they communicate to each other with their media because they can't really talk. They use a lot of hand symbols on TV. And a lot of y'all think that they're just showing each other, hey, I'm with this Illuminati group, or just doing that type of shit. And sometimes they are letting you know what organization they're in, so you know not to fuck with them. But a lot of times too, they're also just communicating with each other, saying that, hey, this means this. I need you to see this sign because what I have to tell you, I can't be heard on camera or phone saying, or else we're going down. Okay. But yeah, this has been amazing, man. Between, Leonardo DiCaprio sinking the Obama ship, starring in the movie Titanic, now all of a sudden the word Titanic is trending because of all this type of stuff with the World Economic Forum and these environmentalists. And, even Leonardo DiCaprio is one of them type of environmentalists. Check it out.
It's no secret that you've been under great opposition to try to implement some of your climate change initiatives. And
we got some folks on the other side. Yeah.
So somebody that comes into office that does not believe in the science of climate change, do they have the capacity and the power to dismantle everything that you've already worked for?
Even if somebody came in campaigning on denying climate science, reality has a way of, hitting you in the nose if you're not paying attention.
So yeah, man, this is all insane, and we'll end it there. Anybody that got any type of info regarding this or any opinion on this, let me know in the comment section. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. This is very interesting. I really want to know what y'all think. So let me know what you think in the comments. I ain't woke. I'm up.
Crucial 13, you are appreciated. Shout out to you.
Get crucial.
I'm hungry. I need some bacon.
Look at this. Look at that. This is the city I'm in right now.